Congratulations! You have just been selected as the local communications leader for your church or school. Everyone has an idea of what you should be doing. Perhaps it is updating your website or incorporating social media. Maybe you want to advertise a meeting or an event, or simply raise awareness of your church or school in your community. How and where do you begin? And what does the Bible say about communication? Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. Relax. Take a deep breath. Believe it or not, I was once where you are at this moment. I began my work in communications many years ago as the spouse of a pastor. I would design ads for our local newspaper and craft news releases for radio or television. I learned to update and design websites for our churches. I cultivated relationships with my local newspaper reporters and editors and was asked to write articles on occasion for them. I embraced social media to reach younger generations of Adventists as well as our local communities. I became passionate about letting people know not only about what we were doing, but about our Adventist message as well. As the designated communication leader for the church, your role is specifically designed to ensure your members remain informed and your church or school is appropriately represented to the public. We have broken this role down into 4 areas which comprise your ministry as a communication leader. First, public relations. Second, media relations. Third, news and information. And fourth, advertising and promotion. Let's talk about public relations. As communication leader, you are responsible for constructing, monitoring, and safeguarding the identity of your local church and its name within your community. How can you do this? First, ensure your church is clearly identified by an attractive exterior sign with any new signage following Adventist identity guidelines. Develop and regularly update your church website, social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Feel like you aren't technical? Enlist your young people to assist. Most people grew up with this technology and are often willing to help out. Let people know you are there. Promote the identification of your church through listings in local community directories, tourist publications, highway signage, and area hotels. This is easy to do and often free. Adopt a section of your highway, for example, and you can help keep your community clean while promoting the presence of your church. Get involved in community events. Arrange for your church to be represented at area exhibits, fairs, or parades. Build and nurture relationships with community leaders and organizations while encouraging increased church involvement and support within your community. One of my favorite ways to accomplish this is to recognize first responders with a special worship service and a plaque for them to display in their department. Young people, they want to be active and involved. Encourage your church to join Compassion 10 Million and share the Compassion Movement Weekend events located at compassionmovement.org with your community contacts and local government officials. Media relations. Now, as a communication leader, your primary objective is to increase public awareness of our church members' mission, message, and story. How can you do this? Report church and Adventist school activities to your local newspaper, radio station, and television station by submitting news releases and public service announcements. Publications in smaller communities may even accept well-written articles and high-resolution photos from you as they are continually looking for quality content to fill their pages. Arrange for interviews or photo coverage of congregational activities or events and serving as a source of information for public media representatives. Seek to become personally acquainted with newspaper and online news editors, broadcast assignment editors, religion reporters, and community relations personnel. These connections are invaluable, and should a crisis occur involving your church or school, I cannot tell you how many times these relationships have helped me deal with the media because I sought out a relationship with the editors or reporters before a crisis, and they knew who I was and they trusted me. How do you connect with your local media? Develop initial contacts with press kits and nurture those contacts with emails, phone calls, or even handwritten note cards. Once you have these connections, maintain a local media contact list. Ask them for coverage of a camp meeting, a health fair, a school program, or a Pathfinder event that benefits the children or your community. Let's talk about news and information. Today, as a communication leader, it is imperative to employ multiple strategies to foster the church's presence in the community. It is equally important to keep church members informed about upcoming activities and to share church news with conference communication directors and the larger Adventist family. How can you do this? As I mentioned earlier, develop and regularly update social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Social media is more than posting a couple of photos from your last church social. Social media is a way of building relationships and telling your story in such a way that your audience understands the value of your church and engages with your content. Reach out into your community. Did you know that you can identify groups in your community based on their interests? It could be Bible study, Christian education, or family-friendly events. Whatever your goal, consider sponsoring a targeted social media post to appeal to and reach alternative or younger demographics within your community. Produce a regular newsletter, email or printed, with photos, articles, and input from members. You'll be surprised how many members have fallen away from the church, may find these events interesting, and consider returning to your church for the next service or social. Creating private social media groups or utilizing password-protected features of your church website is a great way to stay in touch or share prayer requests with active members and those who have fallen away. And don't forget about your local conference communication director. Submit well-written articles and high-resolution photos for use in conference news outlets and/or union magazines, newsletters, or social media posts. And finally, advertising and promotion. More than ever, our local churches need different mechanisms to engage new generations and populations. The effectiveness of any strategy depends on the type of person a church is trying to reach. Your essential responsibility as a local communication leader is to design promotions for all church events and evangelistic campaigns to attract your desired audience. How can you do this? Regularly consult with your pastor and ministry leaders about events and activities being planned throughout the year. Assist them with the creation and placement of brochures, flyers, targeted sponsored social media posts, print ads, promotional videos, and other marketing ideas. While professionally prepared advertising materials are available for many denominational programs, don't be afraid to utilize the gifts of your local church members. Consider asking a college student member who has the talent in graphic arts to design your flyers, brochures, and ads. Invite members who work in communication or marketing by profession to help develop an advertising campaign for your next evangelism effort or church project. Encourage an older teen or young adult to create a video, design a social media campaign, update a church website, or regularly update your social media platforms. They are often native users of this technology, but as they are still young, their content should be reviewed by an adult. Friends, remember you're not alone in this journey. Your local conference and union leaders are available to help you as you grow into this important ministry. There are also a variety of resources designed with you, the local communication leader, in mind. The Columbia Union Communication Handbook will have a detailed listing of these resources. To get your copy, contact the Columbia Union Communication Department. Thank you, and God bless you in your communications ministry.